Better than
All,
not.
yep, all good. All good.
All good as we start the morning with a bazillion.
.com or andiamoitalia.com for menus and reservations.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Thursday morning to you, or as you would say, Ann.
Good Friday Eve.
I like that. The sound of that. Nice. It's the 25th of March, the 84th day of 2021. There are 281 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And this one's going to be a busy one, that's for sure. And a bittersweet one, as in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll give our WJR listeners a chance to call in and thank Frank Beckman for his many years of service here at WJR and have a chance to speak with him as we'll open our phone lines in the 8 o'clock hour with Frank. The reason we're doing that is even though tomorrow is his last regularly scheduled day at the radio station after 48 years. Tomorrow's going to be very busy. They're doing a special broadcast up from Boyne with a lot of guests on, and so we realize it'll be harder to get our regular listeners, our family, on the air to maybe speak with him, say goodbye, or whatever it is they want to say with him. So we decided to do it the day before, because Friday's going to be a very long, tough day for Frank and for many. And so we'll do that today in the 8 o'clock hour. Now, the team looks one short because of problems with the internet. Nothing new there. Marie is here with WJR news and information. We appreciate that, Marie. And
Good morning.
the world is okay. Good morning to you. We also have Dayna, but we're not going to see her. But we are going to hear her, I hope, through one of the systems.
Yes, at some point we are going to hear her.
Oh, okay. Not at this point. Brian Morton, who we rarely hear from because of the current system, although we hear him through the balance of the rest of the show with the other system, he is here, or we wouldn't be here. So we're assured that he's behind the little WJR dot in the black box. In this case, don't ignore the man behind the curtain, because he's the technical guy that makes sure we are heard. And Curtis Paul and his team are the team that makes sure that we are seen. Kim it gets up way too early, hours before I do, and starts sending along ideas and things, and we appreciate that. And the woman who never sleeps, our executive producer. Good morning, Ann.
Isn't it great that it's Friday's Eve, Dub?
It is indeed, in a week that I'm not exaggerating, seemed like the longest week ever.
Yes,
seemed
it
like
did.
a very long week, didn't it? That wasn't just me.
No, it's not just you. You know,
Seemed like a long week.
right. Even though the weather is great,
Yes.
it's still March in Michigan. It's a long March. That could have something to do with it. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. What were you saying, Marie?
Ides of March in general.
Oh, the Ides of March. Yeah.
General sentiment.
Well, it is what it is, and we're glad that it is Friday's Eve on this Thursday morning. It is the Feast of the Annunciation, which you guys might have known. I didn't until I got this to read. On this day, 9 months before the birth of Jesus, on Christmas morning, we celebrate the incarnation of our Savior, Jesus Christ. The Archangel Gabriel came to Mary of Nazareth and told her she was to bear the Son of God, Jesus Christ. Is this a holy day of obligation?
I don't believe today is a holy day of obligation.
Okay.
No. No.
All right. Good
And
to
then
know.
I'm sure we'll be corrected on that if we're not correct.
Well,
on
yes, our friends alongside here will.
that. We'll be told.
We will be. Let me switch over so I can see what they have to say. There's the team, the other team, the team. our listeners who have so loyally gotten up early, fired up their computers, and not only listen to us, watch us. And we appreciate that very much. Now, there are some changes coming that I kind of hinted at. They weren't, we didn't know for sure what everything was going to be, but with the loss of Frank, and frankly, the loss of Rush, there are changes to be made. Now, we heard that Dan Bongino is coming in to fill noon to 3 on WJR, but that's not till mid to late May, I guess.
May 24th.
Okay. Because of the changes here, and they're not sure yet what they're going to do from 9 to noon, Frank's time period, we've been called upon and asked if we would work till 10 in the morning. So starting this Monday, this show will go not 5:30 to 9, but from 6 to 10. One of the casualties of that new time shift will be our ability to do the early morning roundtable that we've enjoyed doing and being with you and waking up together from 5:30 till 9. That is now going to be gone. And furthermore, the decision was made that after 6, the roundtable would not make sense. And so it's gone for now, but we don't think we're going to be on from 6 to 10 forever. There's at least 2 of us who pray that we're not on from 6 to 10. That would be Ann, and that would be me. Marie goes, "What's the big deal?" So she's here anyway. But we're not. And nobody in the country does a 4-hour talk show. Well, nobody in a major market in the country does a 4-hour talk show. There's a reason they're only, well, ours was 3.5, but there's a reason they're only 3 hours, and in some cases 2 hours, because it's a talk show. I can't throw on a record and sit back and relax. It doesn't happen. So stay with us, and we hope maybe we'll get back to being able to do that. We don't know what the future holds. We just know what starts Monday. We're on from 6 to 10. And at this point, except for special occasions and special broadcasts, we will come to you the good old-fashioned way through 760 and iHeartRadio and WJR.com and all the other ways that we do with our audio. But we're holding off apparently on the video portion for special broadcasts and until we figure out what's going to happen from, we hope, 9 to noon rather than 10 to noon. Anyway, that's the news we have, and we are good soldiers, and we soldier on with you. It is 5:45 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Lions Clubs International.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed, support causes that matter, change lives, change communities, change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
Let's find out. I don't know if we can get Dayna up or not. Let's give it a shot. This is where we would be checking in with Dayna with our WJR traffic and weather first with Dayna Clark.
At this point, Brian says, Paul, that Dayna, her internet is out completely.
Oh, now it's out altogether.
We'll have to do a little.
We'll get one of the other traffic.
Yes.
One of the other traffic reporters who will press them into service. But we should have the one of the fine weather people standing by to tell us. Currently, we have about 46 degrees, and what's the rest of the weather?
The windy, mild weather from yesterday getting a little bit calmer today. This morning, clouds in. This afternoon, a few rain showers. Breezy at times, still mild though, 64. I think a better chance of rain tonight, maybe an inch or 2 of rain, so heads up, could be slow travel out there. Rain ends tomorrow morning, windy and cooler in the afternoon with highs in the mid-50s. From a Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitching on News Talk 760 WJR.
Again, at 5:47, we're looking at 46 degrees here on this Thursday morning edition of the Paul W. Smith Show on WJR, and we remember the great Rush Limbaugh at this time.
Meg Weehee is the deputy director of the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy. It's a bunch of leftists. In Newsweek magazine, Ms. Weehee writes that state governments should not wait for Washington to soak the rich with higher taxes. She says the states should begin to do that themselves right now. She says that her Take Your Money Institute researched every state's taxation system, and they concluded that most states don't capture enough money from high-income households. Now, this supposedly leads to income inequality and the other problems libs complain about when they want your money. The bottom line, Ms. Weehee thinks that states should whack the rich harder right now instead of waiting for progressives to whack the rich from Washington. Ms. Weehee, haven't you noticed that liberal states have been slamming rich residents with high taxes for decades? And that's why so many people are leaving these high-tax states for low-tax states, and they're taking their money with them. They are running away from you, Ms. Weehee, and they're going to keep running away from you, Ms. Weehee, because they have sense.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Well, the reaction is what I would have expected. It was kind of our reaction, too, when we were told we wouldn't be since we were starting at 6. Somebody mentioned that I used to be on till 10. Is that true? I don't remember.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
It wasn't 5:30 to 10, was it? It couldn't have been.
No, I think it was 6 to 10.
6,
Times.
Mhm. It was a long
I
time
think
ago.
when I first started,
Definitely.
maybe 6 to 10. Remember that realize that this show, when J.P. McCarthy did it from 6 till 10, he really only did 3 hours of himself on the radio, because remember that at the top of each hour, from 6 till 6:15, 7 till 7:15, 8 till 8:15, 9 till 9:15,
Right.
was a news block.
Yes.
So JP had off 15 minutes. So he had actually a full hour off between 6 and 10 because of the 15-minute news blocks at the top. I'm all in for that. But they don't do that anymore. Look somebody
who's
has,
here.
somebody has appeared magically.
This internet, man.
She looks happy.
Wow. And so it's working again. That's great.
Yeah, there's an outage in the area,
Oh boy.
which is what I figured it was because of the wind.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we'll see how long it lasts.
You sound good though.
Love my
Great.
Spectrum.
Huh?
Not really. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we were just talking about what's going on here and the changes that are happening that are. People say, whose idea was this? Well, it's precipitated by two things. One, Frank is retiring, and when somebody leaves, that leaves, especially someone like Frank, that leaves a big gap, a big hole, and so they have to find somebody or somebody's, could be two people, to fill the gap. And then, of course, Rush died, even though he still heard on the radio. I'm not sure how long that's going to go on, except here at WJR, it ends the 24th of May when we start Dan Bongino. And I'm hearing from a lot of people that Dan is very, very good. I only know him from seeing him on Fox News. Annie, we'll have to book him
Yes.
in advance of him starting, just to give our listeners an opportunity to hear from him before he starts his show. There are people who are asking about being able to do the online thing, the camera stuff, online after 6 o'clock, but that has been decided that after 6 o'clock, people are getting ready to move on with their day, and they use us and radio in a different way. They don't sit around like we all do from 5:30 till 6, just enjoying each other and chewing the fat, so to speak. That once 6 o'clock comes, it's been decided by a management that we certainly hope knows what they're doing. They have a lot of experience, that they want us to hit the ground running and do the show. So that's what, at this point, that's what will be happening. We don't believe that's going to be forever, but we don't know for sure. We'll find out. We are, Ann and I, who are affected by this the most, have always been team players, and when they ask us to do something, We question it a little bit, but we never say, no, we're not going to do that. That's just not our way. I believe it's our Catholic school upbringing.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
It is 5:52 at News Talk 760 WJR, and Dayna Clark lives and has she has her cable set up somehow or another. She climbed a telephone pole and rewired it.
And I got electrocuted too.
Well, be careful not to touch that other wire. And she is here, so we're glad she's back. It is International Waffle Day. Who here likes a good waffle?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Who here has a waffle a week?
Oh,
no.
We all like a waffle, but we don't have them very often. Why is that?
Carbs.
Well, that's reason enough. There's carbs, and then there's carbs.
They're a vehicle for butter and syrup, and
They are such a good holder
yes.
of butter and syrup.
Yeah.
There are some things that
haven't had
exist.
chicken and waffles, you are missing out. Fried chicken. Fried chicken
and waffles are
yes.
That's big stuff. I mentioned, I think Marie brought this to our attention a few days ago about Krispy Kreme donuts free.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was a story here under personal finance from CNBC of all places. It says free Krispy Kreme donuts, cash, and even marijuana. Businesses are piling on the perks for getting vaccinated.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
some of the local pot shops are offering. We had a story of that in the news some months ago, that some pot shops are offering you a free joint after you get your shot.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Somebody call me from my back.
A free joint. Get a shot, get a joint.
Hello?
seriously?
Man, I don't know. And
It's a
I
lot of freebies out there.
it's a lot of freebies to get us to do what we should do anyway, which is get the shot. And as Marie had earlier in her news, and we're going to talk about with Dr. Sims a little later, it's getting out of control again.
Yeah.
We're in bad numbers, folks. And man, I don't want to go through everything we've gone through. On the other hand, we found that even states with the lockdowns didn't do that much better than states without the lockdown. So it's a confusing time. The best answer is get the vaccine. If you have a chance, get the vaccine. That's the best answer.
Paul, do you see what numbers, where the ages are with regard to these numbers?
Well, I am assuming they're younger because we've had a spike, especially in sports in high school.
Well, it's more than that, though.
It's
too.
worse than that, yeah.
It's the hospitalizations have gone up, which are really deeply concerning. And what they're finding is that the older people now have been vaccinated, so there are fewer cases there. It's the younger, the 20 to 49-ish group that are showing the biggest numbers.
Yes.
Maybe they
Breaking
need to
up a little
skip
bit.
ahead to them then. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to skip ahead to get the young people and then double back.
Yeah, I've always thought that the way they were doing the numbers wasn't the most didn't make the most sense. I just think that you should have started with 80 and then done that for 3 days or a week, and then 70, and then 60, and then 50, and then 40. I mean, it should have moved right along. And it would have been the responsibility of people and of the people. Unfortunately, we didn't have the infrastructure set up. No one's making a big deal out of it but me, but they had 9 months to get ready to have a plan for once we had a vaccine on how to get it into arms. And that stumbled badly. No one really talked about that because they couldn't blame President Trump for that, so there wasn't much conversation about it. But the reality is we stumbled. We had months to figure out how to have things set up, and we didn't. And that's all across the country. And remember, we just talked yesterday about having more vaccine than people who are getting vaccinated. It's just not good. Anyway, we'll come through this, but this is a terrible stumble, and we will talk to Dr. Sims and others about that today. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Lions Clubs International.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed, support causes that matter, change lives, change communities, change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
And we've got back with us our WJR Traffic and Weather First, and we started off here with Dayna Clark.
Traffic First sponsored by Window World. Call Window World 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW for your window, door, or siding project. Get 0% financing for 60 months. Window World is America's largest exterior replacement remodeler and a trusted team partner of WJR's Inside Outside Guys. Call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW or visit windowworlddetroit.com. Also sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide screen quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. Accident-free, no delays, construction, 11-mile both directions at Gratiot. Single lane closure scheduled through late November. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Gordon Chevrolet, where not only do you pick your payment, but now pick your program. Need to pull ahead your lease? Do you need GM employee pricing or a low payment with zero interest? Let Gordon Chevrolet help you find it. Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City. GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads. Expecting it to be a little bit cooler today, a little bit wet too, some clouds this morning, occasional showers this afternoon, a high of 65 tonight. Periods of rain, cloudy skies, 46. Clear skies, 49 degrees. I'm Dayna Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in 2 minutes.
Where do you get your temperature? I get mine off of the Channel 4 thing.
Oh, my phone.
I use weather.com.
And I don't know what's on my
Weather
phone.
Channel. I have.
I think mine is the Weather Channel. I got.
Yeah, Weather Channel.
In Detroit, I have 48.
Yeah.
On Channel 4, they have 46, and you have 49.
It's
so
like it's always within
the,
like 3.
Yeah, in the 40s.
Yeah,
upper
in the
40s
upper
at this
40s.
And you
point.
want to hear something funny? I have 50.
You have 50.
That's funny.
We'll go with
50 in
the,
Detroit.
I'll go with
go with
50.
the warmest
We can
one.
pick. Let's go 50.
Okay.
You know how bad is it? First of all, I can't print the stories you sent, Ann, until we get off this, unfortunately.
Or could you?
Because I can't print them from my phone. I can pull them up on my phone.
You could just
Some
do
of these stories come that can be printed off my phone and some cannot, and I still haven't figured out why or how. But I can tell you this by reading it. How bad is it out there? COVID-19 hospitalizations in Michigan have surged 800%
And look at the age.
in March
Yeah.
with people 40 to 49 years of age. Therefore, today, starting at 8 this morning, Beaumont Hospital said they're reinstating visitor restrictions at all of their hospitals starting at 8 a.m. today because of the rise of COVID-19 cases in Michigan.
Right.
So the effort, obviously, to protect patients, staff, and the community. If it's happening at Beaumont, it's sure to start to happen at other hospitals. It's not good. It's the dominoes are starting to fall again, and it's not pretty.
You know, it's interesting too. I follow that page on Facebook, the Detroit Area Vaccine Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
It is really obvious that in some areas you can't get the vaccine. I mean, people are desperately trying to find it. Other areas, at the end of the day, there will be some extra vaccine. So then people all race to go get the vaccine. And it goes back to Paul's point about how unusual and odd this really is, the way it's being distributed. It's too bad that there wasn't just a mass plan to get as many people as possible, because now, as Paul points out, this huge hospitalization number, it is in the group that cannot get the vaccine yet.
Yeah, it was held back. It was withheld from people who could have gone and gotten it, and was hanging out there for people who maybe couldn't go out and get it, and maybe we needed to go to them. The people that were 70 or 80 or 90. I think of how hard it was just for my mother at 95. But I'm starting to worry about the kids. The youngest, Sophie, 18, or the ones that aren't that young, but Natalie's been
Young
really
adult.
very good about quarantining up in Ann Arbor. Jamie's out on the golf tour in Orlando. And Adam is out and about living in the city of Detroit. And those kids are not vaccinated. And they are, some of them are living life. I hope they tell me they're being careful, that they're wearing their masks, that they're very careful of who they're with. I know that Natalie is very much concerned. She's created a little bubble. That's what a lot of kids have done.
A lot of kids have done that.
Especially in college situations that can do that, but a lot of kids can't, that are trying to work or are working. So there's a lot going on that it'll be interesting to hear. Remember, Dr. Sims told us last time he was on, he wasn't sending his kids back to school. No. And this is an infectious disease specialist. Yes. I pay attention to what people do with their own families. I'm not afraid to ask a doctor, well, what would you do if it were you or if someone in your family? I'm not afraid to say that.
Right. And, there's still a big percentage of people out there that don't want to get the vaccine. But if you take a look at how effective it has been in the older population, you really might want to rethink that. I mean, I know there's people that say they'd rather have COVID, but the problem with COVID is you don't know how it's going to affect you.
That's crazy to rather have COVID.
But if you watch the feeds, there's a group of people out there that they are just very resistant to the vaccine. And I understand that it's new technology, but we got to get rid of this thing.
That is right. And paying attention to our people that we are going to miss, I hope just for a short while. We don't know, though, what the future will bring.
Temporary, Doug.
We don't know. We hope so. We've certainly made our feelings clear to, as they say, the powers that be. We all work for somebody, and happily, we all need these jobs. But anyway, I see, where was it? Jane Tarbett pointing out something that I did not read, but it's the reality. It was on this day. It's on my day in history, Jane, just so you know, but I'll read it since you brought it up. March 25th, 1911, 146 people, mostly young female immigrants, were killed when fire broke out at the Triangle Shirtwaist Company in New York. I see that every year on my day in history and can't even imagine something like that, and pray something like that could never happen today, but it shouldn't be able to. And part of that is probably union influence and worker, what is it, OSHA? I don't know what the different organizations are that look out for workers' safety that didn't exist in 1911. And so they put a bunch of people into a basically locked area without paying attention to how important it would be to have exits in the case of a fire in their situation. So things have changed in our society, sometimes not fast enough, but they have changed. And that's one of them that we're reminded of every March 25th back to 1911 and all those people that died being stuck into by their sewing machines and all their equipment and not being able to get out when there was a fire. So Jane, you brought it up, so I didn't want to walk away from that. Jerry is asking a good question. Does Red Eye stay on until 6?
Yes.
Red Eye Radio will stay on till 6. Jane says there's a history special that's an hour long on that fire, and it is heartbreaking. Of course it is. Thanks, Jane, for the heads up. Red Eye will stay on till 6. We will stay on from 6 till 10, at least for a moment. And we sure hope it's a short moment, frankly, but we don't know. We stand ready to do whatever they ask us to do. So that's what's happening. We'll be on from 6 till 10. From 10 till noon will be some, is there a better way to put it? Tryouts, maybe? Tryouts.
Fill-ins.
Fill-ins that, let's face it, if you're asked to fill in, you're trying out.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Thursday morning to you, or as Ann would say, Friday's Eve. It's March 25th, the 84th day of 2021. There are 281 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Well, we have the team. Marie Osborne just concluded the news. Thank you, Marie. Dayna Clark climbed up a telephone pole, connected the wires. She's back with us now, as we are happy to have her there in place. Behind the scenes, we have a couple of folks. Of course, Brian Morton is pressing all the right buttons and doing all the technical things to have us work. Mike Kim is helping out with stories that feed into things that Ann has booked for us and other things just to talk about. And then the Ann I refer to is our executive producer. Good morning, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Friday's Eve.
Friday's Eve. Whee!
Yay!
Today will be the start of what's been a bittersweet week, and that is we've given up our entire 8 o'clock hour. We've given up our 8 o'clock hour to feature Frank. We asked if we could do this. At first, we thought we would do it Friday, and then it was thought, well, then that would mean Frank would be going an extra long period of time on what's going to be a very tough day for him. So we're doing it the day before his last regularly scheduled broadcast. So today, in the 8 o'clock hour, we will open the phone lines and let people talk to Frank, which they probably won't get a big chance to do on Friday because so many things are booked from his special celebration from Boyne tomorrow. So that's what we're doing in the 8 o'clock hour today. Make a note, come back if you have to leave us, and call in and talk to Frank Beckman after 48 years. 48 years at WJR, starting as a Cub reporter, starting sports rap, first radio sports talk show in Detroit, in Michigan maybe, and of course doing his own show. For how many years now has he had his own show?
Oh, that's
I don't know.
20, right, Ann?
I don't think it's 20. Is it 20?
20 years, something like that?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
It seems not 20 because remember, he did sports on my show when I first got here.
That's right.
And I've been doing my morning show 25 years.
Yep.
So he did sports on my show. I don't know. We'll ask. I know. We'll ask Frank. We'll ask Frank.
And do you know that I've worked with Frank Beckman for 39 years?
Wow.
Yeah, you have. And I've known him that long because I've had an association with the radio station for about, if it's been 25 years doing the morning show, there were 5 to 10 years of doing the weekends, filling in for JP and all that. I was around. So I met Frank many years ago and worked with him at JR. Some of that time was part-time. And then they made me full-time back when I was still doing the weekends and fill in for JP. I don't remember exactly when that was, to tell you the truth. So he's been here a very long time, and Ann has been here a very long time. We had to get special permission from the government to have her do her work from grade school. So we did. I think people know how unusual it is to have all of us around as long as we've been around. And because in radio, people come and go, just like we see on television now. You know, I used to know every reporter on television at every station. They were there for years, and we all knew them. Every time I turn on a channel, there's some new reporter. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's the way of the world now. They kind of rotate through people. But anyway, I want to pay a little more attention to still miss Frank on the U of M football Saturdays. That from Bill Cox, and a lot of people do. He did a fine job on that. And I think our friend Art Volo. Brian, answer me on the chat thing here, so because I can't talk to you. But late last night I spoke to Art Volo, twisted his arm. He just had gallbladder surgery, but he still sent us a bushel basket of Frank sound, and some of it's from a roast of Frank a long time ago. I'm not liking the answer I'm getting from Brian. Apparently he doesn't have very much of the stuff, but hopefully he can get us something. If it comes through and it can work, Brian, we want to get some of the stuff on there, and especially I always thought the U of M football stuff was extra special, but there were some other things. I didn't hear the the roast. So I thought that might be pretty good too. But Brian has a chance of hearing it. I couldn't open it when I got it late last night. That's why I asked Art Volo to send it to Brian and me, because I knew Brian would be able to get through. It was something like Lockbox, but something else. I can't remember what it was called. If any of you guys know what else is out there in the ether that people use like Lockbox, but
Dropbox. Okay.
Dropbox.
Well, this had a different name, and I don't know what it was. I mean, I'd hear it if you said it, I'd know it. But whatever. There's a million things out there,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So much.
a million different ways to do that stuff. But anyway, so the last hour today will be with Frank, and tomorrow will be the last hour where we do this on-camera thing. And Kim suggested that we all wear the robes that we got for Christmas.
Good suggestion, Kim.
Because we've never worn them.
Good one, Kim.
So I don't know. What do you guys feel? Do you feel like wearing the robe?
Absolutely.
I don't know where mine is.
You got all day to find it.
Right.
That's what I was planning on doing, spending the next 24 hours looking for my robe. I have nothing else to do.
What if it's with Kim? Let us know. We can't wear it without you.
No, plan on it. I'll find it, or I'll sew one together. Wear our robes tomorrow. Let's wear our robes. Okay. I will, of course, die of the heat.
Yeah.
I don't wear robes because it's too hot all the time for me. Anyway, that's it for now as we head into our WJR traffic and weather right after we take care of a little business here.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
If you missed our conversation yesterday, late in the morning with Candace Miller, Macomb County Public Works Commissioner, you'll want to stand by because we've got it again for you. It's 6:18. It's well worth hearing from Candace again. In the meanwhile, we do have our WJR traffic and weather first. That means we have Miss Dayna Clark.
Traffic First sponsored by Shelving.com. Shelving.com is a one-stop shop for the products your warehouse needs. Double your space with Unirack pallet racks and modular mezzanines, or grab Klein and Milwaukee tools for light repairs to large-scale installations. Shelving.com. We rack your world. Also sponsored by Amish Direct Furniture. Amish Direct Furniture carries a huge variety of high-quality handmade furniture made here in the USA. Stop by Amish Direct's new showroom in Sterling Heights. Meet their knowledgeable staff or shop online at AmishDirect.com. That's AmishDirect.com. Accident blocking 3 lanes along 75 southbound at the Davison. Your left 3 lanes are blocked. This is involving an earlier vehicle fire. Traffic getting by in that right lane. Only a 5-minute backup from at least McNichols. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Gordon Chevrolet, where not only do you pick your payment, but now pick your program. Need to pull ahead your lease? Do you need GM employee pricing or a low payment with 0 interest? Let Gordon Chevrolet help you find it. Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City. GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads.
Showers returning with the mild weather continuing. The average high this time of year closer to 50. How about 64 this afternoon? Little breeze coming in and a few rain showers possible. Rain tonight, maybe some heavy rain at times. 42. We do have periods of rain early tomorrow. Cooler highs in the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stagicom, News Talk 760 WJR.
Well, I'm going to say it's 46 so that I can say